the circle. Okay, so therefore you can essentially draw the rhombus that would be inscribing that uh, circle in the isometric view, where that circle is actually an ellipse. Okay, so then you can draw. Once you draw that rhombus, you should be in a position to draw the ellipse. Okay, which is essentially a circle, but in an isometric view, it's an ellipse. So you should be in a position to draw that ellipse, even if approximately, but very closely. Okay, so I believe that method is the force center method. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say here is if there is an ellipse, you can understand that there are four extreme curvatures. Okay, actually not four, there are two extreme curvatures. Okay, so at the end of the semi major axis there is one sort of curvature, at the end of the semi minor axis there is another sort of curvature. Okay, just for that, I mean there are four such segments, right? So to draw that, okay, you need that force center method. Okay, so if you look at any engineering mechanics engineering drawing book, I believe you'll find that. Does that answer your question?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এটাই মানে জিজ্ঞাসা ছিল। ঠিক আছে স্যার, বলছি আরেকটা আছে স্যার। আমরা যে স্কেলে ড্র মানে যেইখানে আমরা আঁকছি সেটা তো স্যার মানে নর্মাল যে স্কেল, মানে আমরা 1:1 মানে 1:2 তে আঁকছি, কিন্তু ডাইমেনশনটা যদি 300 থাকে সেটা 150 করে আঁকছি, কিন্তু সেখানে 300 লিখছি। স্যার বলছি আইসোমেট্রিক স্কেলের সাথে এটার কি ডিফারেন্স?
আইসোমেট্রিক স্কেল, এখন আইসোমেট্রিক স্কেল আমরা ইউজ করি না, ঠিক আছে? আমরা আইসোমেট্রিক ভিউ তো আইসোমেট্রিক স্কেল ইউজ করি না আমরা। So basically multiplying each dimension with √3/2 and all, or I don't know, I don't recall exactly the number, so we don't do that. Okay, even if you are drawing given geometry in an isometric view, we would be using the true dimensions. Okay, but we are not doing that here. We are only drawing the orthographic projections, so we don't have to bother about any of the isometric scaling. Okay, Achha, I believe all of you could join. I mean, those who wanted to join could join. Okay, so let's start the class now. Achha, today I want to cover one very different from so far what we have discussed, one very different component of a machine. It's called the tool head of a shaping machine. Okay, or tool head of a shaper. Okay, I believe all of you had one machining workshop, right?
Where you use grinding machine সব ছিল,
grinding ছিল।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
ওকে ওকে, সো কোন সেমিস্টারে ছিল?
আমাদের আগের সেমটাতেই ছিল স্যার, ওয়ার্কশপ প্র্যাকটিসে, মানে ওয়ার্কশপ প্র্যাকটিক্যাল 2 যেটা ওইখানে ছিল।
So you must be I mean obviously not that good, but you must be able to recall about the shaping machine. Do you recall?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Achha, there was one machine called lathe. What sort of machining operation would be done on a lathe?
Cutting, chamfering, rounding, boring,
okay,
drilling,
diameter reduction করতে পারে।
Okay, so basically the primary operation that you can do is of course you can do drilling and other thing, but the primary operation that you can do is turning. That's what lathe does, and we don't call actually it a turning machine. We instead call it a lathe. Okay, and every other machine that we have seen, drilling machine or milling machine or grinding machine, that does that particular operation. So in a way lathe is an universal machine, is a universal machine that does multiple operations. Achha. But today we'll be talking about a shaping machine, and what I'm about to do is I don't have the copyright of any of this, but since I'm taking the class from home, I don't have any other option also. So I'm about to share one YouTube video about the shaper, and I want you to notice a few things. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha. First of all, in any machining operation, there are three things. One is three types of motion. Okay. You understand that the chip that you are removing in a machining operation, the chip that you are removing, that is a 3D volume that you are removing. Okay. Maybe very thin volume, but it's a 3D volume, right? So you need three types of motions to get that sort of chip removed from the material. One one type of motion is called a cutting motion. Then second is the feed, and then third is your depth of cut. Now, what is the depth of cut? So I just mentioned that the chips that you remove are very thin. So that thinness is essentially is your depth of cut. Okay. The feed feed is for example, if you are working on a lathe, okay, uh, mm, uh, the the cutting motion, okay, sorry, the cutting motion is provided on the component, okay, that you are turning, okay. So that is it's essentially rotating, and that is actually your cutting motion. And then you can uh, mm, you can bring the cutting tool, okay, anywhere along the axis of the component, okay, and that is actually feed, okay. And then also you can move it perpendicular to the axis, and that would be your depth of cut, okay. In shaping, the head of the shaper is actually moving in a horizontal direction. In turning, the component that you are machining is actually rotating, okay. So the cutting motion is rotational, okay. But you might realize one thing, that in cutting motion, the same surface, okay, I mean, the motion has to be such that it is kind of recursive, okay. Whether it is a rotational motion or translational motion, that once you leave a given point, you should come back to the same point, okay. So that sort of motion is applied to cutting. So in shaping, the cutting motion is actually provided to that head, so it moves back and forth, okay. So it essentially you know comes back to the same point, okay. The feed is provided to the table that lies underneath. So the job is placed below the head, okay, and that job is where the job is being held, that table, that actually essentially has your feed. Okay, so if you want to machine the entire top surface of a job, okay, so you change the location of the on the top surface is by moving the job. So the feed is provided there, and then the depth of cut is provided to the provided to the again the head of the shaping machine. Basically, the component in the front that you see. Okay, so this component that you see in the front, that's where the depth of cut is provided. Okay, Achha. So first of all, this long component that you see, that essentially is your cutting tool. That is supposed to be your cutting tool. Okay, but actually it kind of is a grip for your cutting tool. There are different shapers where you actually directly attach your cutting tool. You must recall what the cutting tool looks like, so that you can be directly attached over here, okay. And this this component in the front is called the tool head of the shaping machine, okay. And we would like to draw the assembly view of this very component, okay, the tool head of the shaping machine. Now I'll be going in detail of the tool head, but before going into that, just let's look at this shaping machine, how it works. can you see my cursor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see this small component there, this sharp component right there, that essentially is your cutting tool. Okay, now the cutting tool is very small over here. Had this been quite large, the cutting tool itself would be attached to directly to the tool head. But essentially, it has been put within a grip, and then that grip itself has been attached to the cutting tool. This motion right there is a feed motion. Okay, that the bench on which the job would be placed. So this is the job that has been placed. Okay, so that thing can be moved along a horizontal axis, and that motion is the feed motion. And this motion that is happening with the head of the shaper is the cutting motion, going back and forth. Okay. And how does the shaper head move back and forth it happens obviously. There is a motor that is running the machine, but you know the outcome of a motor, right? It's a rotational motion, and that rotational motion is fed to a component called a crank. Okay, and essentially there is a mechanism called a quick return mechanism. So the tool is such that the cutting tool, I'm talking about this cutting tool, this sharp object right there, so that cuts the job only in the that removes chip from the surface of the job only in the forward motion. In the backward motion, okay, it doesn't remove any chip. Okay, so the backward motion is there only to give some rest to the cutting tool, because when it is removing chip from a surface, it would be generating heat, it would be having friction. So that's when it has been relaxed. Okay, it doesn't cut in both direction, it only cuts in the forward motion. Okay, and because in the reverse motion it doesn't cut any material, okay, you want to minimize the time taken for moving in the reverse direction. Hence there is something called a quick return mechanism that has been employed. Okay, so that quick return mechanism essentially, if you look at the body of the shaper, that's where the quick return mechanism is. Okay, within this part. Okay, so
স্যার
yes,
স্যার ওটাই ক্র্যাঙ্কশাফট মেকানিজমও বলে না, কুইক রিটার্ন যেটা বলে?
no, I mean the crank can be used in a lot of different mechanisms. You see, every mechanism it would probably have a crank. Okay, it's because the outcome of a motor, okay, is a rotational motion, right? So if you want to run a mechanism, okay, one of the components is called a crank. Okay, then it would be then you can convert that sort of motion, which is a rotational motion, into an rotational oscillatory motion, so not going full rotation, or to even a rotational sliding motion. For example, in engines, obviously in engine there is no motor. Okay, but in engines the piston move in the horizontal axis. Okay, but that horizontal motion of the piston essentially causes the wheels to rotate, but that means there is a crankshaft that rotates. Okay, so you can do vice versa, you can convert a rotational motion into translation one, or the vice versa. Now now if you have looked at the wipers, okay, now in cars you would not be able to see the mechanism. Okay, it's so tiny you would not be able to see, it's hidden. But if we're looking at the wipers of a bus, okay, if you have traveled on a bus in the monsoon, then you must have yes, so there you would see that one motor is running, a mechanism is running the wiper. Okay, and that mechanism is called a crank rocker mechanism. So the part that is attached to the rotor shaft is called a crank, that is performing full rotation. But if you in that 4-bar linkage, the opposite side is a rocker, which means it doesn't rotate, As the crank rotates, it only oscillates. Okay, so that rocker is essentially extended into your wiper. Okay, so that part is there, but today we are talking about a very different type of mechanism. You probably had one course with mechanisms, right? You being chemical engineers, you must be having one course.
না স্যার
Did you
এখনো তো
have one
হয়নি।
course? Huh?
না স্যার এখনো হয়নি।
Acha, acha. So in that case, let me show you how that quick return mechanism works.
স্যার
I mean,
এটা
it
আমরা
is
ওয়ার্কশপে
slightly off
পড়েছি,
topic. Sorry?
ওয়ার্কশপে আমাদেরকে এটা পুরো ডিটেলসে বলা হয়েছিল কুইক রিটার্ন মেকানিজম কি করে কাজ করে and all.
Okay, okay. So let's consider this as a recap, and this might be a little off topic, but it still would would give a completion to our topic for the day. Okay, so this is one simulation that I made in MATLAB. So please pay attention what is happening. Okay, so this top yellow block is equivalent of the shaper head. Okay, you can consider this is being attached to the shaper head, and all of these are different links, part of the mechanism, which are connected by pin joints to different other components. And this part, this red colored bar right there, is the crank that is attached to the rotor. Okay, and that is attached to this rocker. This blue colored line right there is with the help of a sliding joint. Okay, so basically a sliding joint would be a slotted arm. That means this rocker would have a slotted arm, and there would be a square peg in that slotted arm. You must have encountered such problems in engineering mechanics, so it would be something like that. Now what happens is the maximum, so as this crank rotates, this red colored component rotates, so this blue colored component would oscillate, blue colored link would oscillate, the rocker would oscillate, and therefore this yellow colored block at the top would move along this horizontal dotted line, okay, in back and forth motion. But the maximum forward it can go is when this red line is normal to this blue line. Okay, and maximum backward it can go when the red line is normal to this blue line in the opposite direction. But that gives an angles much smaller than 180 degree, which makes the forward stroke higher than 180 degree. And if the crank rotates at a constant rate, then the forward stroke takes larger time, allowing the material material removal happening over a longer schedule, whereas the return stroke is quite fast. So if I run the simulation, it looks like this. You see the forward stroke is quite slow, but the return is quite fast. Can you see that? Okay. So now okay, so now to the shaper head. So so you would be drawing the tool head of the shaper. So this is another CAD video. Okay, again I don't have the copyright for this one, and so this will actually show you the components in 3 dimension. Okay, so let's look at the is this screen visible to you?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you understand what up to which part are we calling the tool head of the shaping machine. So this brown colored component is called the back plate. Okay, and that's up to which is our tool head. Okay, then the silver colored component just before it is called the vertical slide. Okay, and vertical to the vertical slide is attached to this spindle right there. Okay, and this one is square threaded possibly. Okay, and provided with a handle. And essentially the depth of cut that we are talking about comes from by revolving this handle over there, and by revolving this spindle right there. So the bolt rotates and the nut only translates. Okay, so you know how a helical joint works. One of the component will rotate, okay, and there would be a relative axial relative linear motion between the two components. Okay, now in this case the bolt, this spindle right there, will rotate. Okay, we don't want the nut to rotate because the nut is this vertical slide, and then vertical slide moves vertically upward and downward relative to what? Relative to this back plate right there. Okay, and essentially providing with the depth of cut. Now the next component, this white color component right there, okay, is called so this one is vertical slide and this one is, okay, let me check. Okay, so this white color component is called the swivel plate. Okay, and that one is actually there are a couple of joints by which it is attached to the uh, vertical slide. So one of them is this this clamp screw right there, okay, which is visible. The clamp screw right there is visible along with a washer. Okay, now what does this clamp screw does is you can remove this clamp screw, okay, and then by removing you can not removing, you can loosen this clamp screw, and there enough with that you can allow this this swivel plate to rotate relative to the vertical slide. That means in shaper you not only can give a depth of cut in the exactly in vertical direction, but you can also slightly tilt your cutting tool. You must have done certain example with that, certain exercise with that. So you can also rotate this swivel plate in relative to your vertical slide. Okay, so for that you'll have to loosen the clamp screw right there, and once that this has been rotated, you can tighten it once again. Okay, now to the swivel plate is attached to your drag plate, this gray colored component right there, and this drag plate is in a pin joint, or it is hinged with the swivel plate. So what does this drag plate do? It can rotate about this horizontal axis, okay, with relative to the swivel plate. Now why is it required? It's when the shaper is taking a retraction motion, so it is going in forward and then it is returning. When it is returning, it is not supposed to cut any material. Okay, so the drag plate should be in a position that if it hits the surface of the job, okay, it would simply rotate and not cut any material. Okay, and then so you see there is a taper pin. So this pin that is attached over here, okay, this one has some taper, so that you can actually put it through this. Okay, so a tape. Okay, so a taper pin is attached between the swivel plate and the drag plate, and to the drag plate you see that you can again attach the cutting tool. You see in this case actually the cutting tool is directly attached to the tool head. Okay, so so this is the basic mechanism. So essentially, this drag plate can twist in or revolve in relative to your swivel plate, and and the swivel plate can rotate, okay, with respect to the vertical slide. Acha, once you remove this clamp screw to rotate the swivel plate, there should be actually it's not shown here. There is another pin right there, which ensures that that there is once this clamp screw is removed, there is essentially a pin joint between the vertical slide and the swivel plate. So that is ensured. That is not shown here, but that is ensured. Okay, so let's look at the exploded view. Okay, so there is this main spindle through which the handle is attached, and this particular shape of the handle is elliptical or ellipsoidal, and it is attached with the help of a nut. Then there is a clamp screw with a washer. Once you remove that, you can actually have a relative motion between the vertical slide and the swivel plate. And there you attach the job along with this washer, brown colored washer. And once you remove this pin right there, you have the drag plate. It can be removed. And you see, you have another clamp screw right there to ensure that once the former clamp screw is removed, this swivel plate could be rotated with respect to the vertical slide. Okay. Now, if you have any query regarding what you have seen right now regarding the tool head, okay, so this is the time to ask. So what you are supposed to draw is the two views of the tool head. Okay, so you can draw a side view and a front view. I believe that should be good enough. Okay, and I'll share some material because actually I look for textbooks. Okay, and that was not there in your it actually your tool head of shaping machine is in your syllabus, but when I went through your the book by Bhatt Panchal, in that I couldn't find the tool head of shaping machine. Then I looked through the engineering mechanics book by Pal and Bhattacharya, and there yes, the tool head of the shaping machine was there, okay, but not completely. Not all the components were there, and also the components were named very inaccurately. Okay, so maybe printing error or proofing error, but I couldn't. Typically, what I do is I scan that page from the book and share it with you. But again, I couldn't do that with you because it's pretty inaccurate. Okay, and also pretty incomplete. So again, I downloaded some material from Google itself. Okay, and again, I do not have the copyright for that. So that PDF I'll share with you for you to draw that component, I mean draw that assembly. So I need you to draw two assembly views. Okay, and without section. I don't need you to draw the section on. Yeah, I don't need you to draw the section, just the front view and the side view, okay, of the assembly. So incorporating what components? So there is your uh, swivel plate. Achha, I'll share the screen. Okay, so I'll be sharing this PDF with you. So the first component is your swivel plate. Okay, and you can see there is a hole for the tapered pin. The pin is provided with a taper for ease of assembly. Then is your back plate that goes that circular plate that goes behind the vertical slide. Then there is your vertical slide. Okay, actually I don't need you to draw the sectional view, but it would be good if you can draw all the three views: the front view, top view, and the side view. But I doubt that you would be able to accommodate the front view and the top view on the same page, because it's a pretty long component. So what I need you to draw is the front view and the side view. That should be good enough. Okay, and but without the top view, it would be a little difficult to show this intricacies of the vertical slide or the back
স্যার
plate.
সাইড ভিউরে জায়গা না হলে অন্য পেজে আঁকতে পারি, আগের বারের গ্ল্যান্ডটা যেভাবে রেখেছিলাম দুটো পেজে।
Side view, I mean, it's a pretty slender component, right? Pretty narrow and long. So for me, it would be rather easy for you to draw the front view and the side view as compared to front view and the top view. But I'm not
স্যার ওটা
sure.
বলছি না, বলছি যে অন্য পেজে করতে পারি যদি একটাতে না করলে।
হ্যাঁ, সেটা তো করতেই পারো, but I prefer if they are done on the same page. Okay.
So we face a problem because of the nameplate. The nameplate takes up some space, because of which we cannot accommodate long components on the right side.
Okay. Then I have a suggestion. Okay, for this drawing, okay, forget about the side view. You don't have to draw the side view. Draw the front view and the top view. Okay, and draw everything in the portrait mode. Okay, so your title block is essentially at the bottom. Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
if and so do this thing. Draw the title block. Okay, and draw the front view and the top view, and keep the entire drawing in the portrait mode. You don't have to draw it in the landscape mode that you have done so far. Draw it in the portrait mode. One more thing, if the list of components, okay, comes in the way for this particular drawing, you can skip that. You don't have to draw the list of components. Okay, just the front view and the top view. You don't have to draw the side view.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so does this sound okay to everyone?
So could you please show us how the final template would look like?
Sure.
Should we keep the template same and draw in portrait mode, or should we change the template as well?
No, the template is same. It's the same A4 drawing. Okay, and if you are confused with the margin and all, you can keep uniform margin everywhere. Okay, and just the title block appears at the very bottom right corner.
So we have to do sectional or non-sectional, full assembly.
Non-sectional.
Non-section.
Non-sectional. Okay. No, I don't want a square. Somehow it turns out to be a square. Okay, so something like this, and there can be your title block, maybe occupying the entire bottom part. Okay, so there you can have your front view and the top view. Okay, you don't have to make any list of components right there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Achha, I'll show you, because I'm also not sure where you would be stuck. I'll show you the PDF once again, and I'll share this PDF. Okay, so so you can check those and let me know if you have any queries regarding any of the components.
স্যার বলছি
Yes,
স্যার এইটা তো ডিটেল ড্রয়িং দেখালেন, মানে আমাদের অ্যাসেম্বলিটা আঁকতে হবে তাই তো, ডিটেল ড্রয়িং গুলো?
assembly আঁকতে হবে, হ্যাঁ।
ঠিক।
স্যার পোর্ট্রেট ভিউ তো আমার মনে হয় 1:2 স্কেলে কুলোবে না A3 সিটে, কারণ ওই
এর
নিচের
ডাইমেনশনটা কি?
হাইটটাই ডাইমেনশনটাই দেখুন আপনি 240 আছে, 240 1:2 তে 120, আর তার সাথে আরো স্পিন্ডেল এন্ড হ্যান্ডেল এগুলো অনেক কিছু আছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
তো
So it
এইটা
would be,
শুধু হলো ফ্রন্ট ভিউ,
I'm assuming it would be around 300, right?
হ্যাঁ
It would be around 300 with all the components.
শুধু ফ্রন্ট ভিউটা। আর টপ ভিউ এর মধ্যে আমরা এই সামনে যে পার্টটা বেরিয়ে আছে সেটাও তো দেখতে পাবো, তো সেটা অনেকটা লম্বা হবে না, এই যে সামনে যেখানে টুলটা লাগানো হয়। তো এটারও লেন্থ যদি ধরি তাহলে মানে খুব পাতলা হবে না, মানে অনেকটাই লম্বা হবে।
300 এটা A2 তে করা যাবে? A2 তেও হবে না, না? A2 তেও হবে
A2 তে
না।
হোপফুলি হয়ে যাবে, কিন্তু A2 সিট নেই অ্যাকচুয়ালি, A3 সিটে করি
A2
আমরা।
কমে হবে না, কারণ 1:2 তে okay, you see, I cannot skip the title block because there would be your name and roll number and the scale, everything, every detail would be there. So title
দুটো
block
পেজে
cannot be.
করলে কি খুব অসুবিধা হবে?
দুটো পেজে করতে পারো,
না তাহলে
okay.
টাইটেল বক্স এন্ড পার্ট সবই দেওয়া যাবে।
স্যার আমরা পিডিএফ
Okay.
এর মধ্যে টপ ভিউ আর ফ্রন্ট ভিউটাকে উপর নিচে করে দিলেই তো একই রকম দেখতে লাগবে।
না ঠিক আছে, তাহলে দুটো পেজেই করো, okay, and
দুটো পেজে পোর্ট্রেট
and you can
ভিউতে
skip
করতে
the
পারবো।
list of components, that is fine, okay. You can skip the list of components, so just draw the assembly view, okay, and assembly view, but I'm
স্যার
still
সেটা
confused.
পোর্ট্রেট মোডে করতে লাগবে।
Sorry,
স্যার সেটাও পোর্ট্রেট ফর্মে করতে লাগবে, মানে
portrait mode করলে assembly view টা portrait mode করতে হবে, but I'm confused between the side view and the top view, or should we instead choose side view and top view? Because okay, you can just draw the front view and the top view, that should be fine. Front view and top view is fine. Okay, So I don't have any more thing to say. But if you have anything to say, then you can.
স্যার স্যার এই
Yes.
অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট যেটা হবে মানে এই রোববার যেটা সাবমিশন, ওখানে তো খালি টাফিং বক্স এক্সপেনশন আর হাইড্রোলিক জয়েন্টটা আঁকলেই হবে, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ,
তো ওটা ফ্রন্টটা সাইড
এই
ভিউ তো,
সরি,
ফ্রন্টটা সাইড ভিউ।
আমি শুনতে পেলাম না। এনিওয়েজ, এই ড্রয়িংটা মানে এই সানডে, নেক্সট সানডে এটা হয়ে যাওয়া উচিত কি?
স্যার আমাদের ল্যাটারালদের এক্সাম চলবে থার্ড সেমিস্টার, একটু দেরি হলে ভালো হতো, এক্সটেন্ড করলে।
আচ্ছা, তোমাদের কবে থেকে কবে এক্সাম?
24 এপ্রিল থেকে 12 মে।
24 এপ্রিল থেকে 12 মে।
ইয়েস স্যার।
ওকে, আচ্ছা, 24 এপ্রিল মানে তো এই চলে এলো, আজকে তো 22 তারিখ।
পরশু।
হ্যাঁ, তো সো ইন দ্যাট কেস হোয়াট ইউ ক্যান ডু, ল্যাটারাল স্টুডেন্ট তো বোধহয় তোমাদের গ্রুপে একজনই আমার কাছে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট সাবমিট করেছে।
স্যার তিনজন আছে।
কিন্তু আমি অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট একজনেরই পাই, রোল নাম্বার 12,
মানে অভিনন্দন দাস, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আমি সাবমিট করেছি সব অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট।
হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু বাকি কারো কিন্তু আমি কোনো অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট পাইনি। বাকিরা কি জানে আদৌ ক্লাস আছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, পূজা
আমার
যে আছে ও জানে স্যার, পূজা পাল আই গেস, ও জানে।
ওকে, মুশকিল হচ্ছে যে আমার পক্ষে এটা জানাটা ডিফিকাল্ট। অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট কজন ক্লাসে আছো এবং মানে কোন কোন রোল নাম্বার আছো, আমি তো এখানে সবার নাম দেখতে পাই, রোল নাম্বারও দেখতে পাই না। আর আমি মানে একটা গ্লান্সই দেখি। এবার হচ্ছে যে আমার পক্ষে ওটা ডিটারমাইন করা মুশকিল যে কারা আছে কিন্তু অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট দেয়নি, সেটা না জানালে মুশকিল। এবং ইন দ্যাট কেস যেটা করা যেতে পারে, আমি অ্যাবাউট দ্য পয়েন্ট, যে দ্য ওয়ান্স মানে যাদের পরীক্ষা আছে ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টার, তারা বাদ দিয়ে বাকিরা সাবমিট করে দাও। মানে এটা 25 তারিখ তো, দেন বাই 2nd মে তারা সাবমিট করে দাও, ঠিক আছে? বা 2nd মে যদি না হয় তাহলে পরের থার্সডে মানে বাই 6th মে সাবমিট করে দাও, দেন ইউ হ্যাভ দ্য উইকেন্ড। অ্যান্ড আর যাদের ল্যাটারাল এন্ট্রি আছে তারা 12 তারিখের পরে দাও।
ওকে স্যার।
ঠিক আছে
স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
ইয়েস, কেউ কিছু বলছিলে?
স্যার ওর বোধহয় নেট প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, ও মিটিং থেকে বেরিয়ে গেছে।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
Sir. Sir.
সরি,
Yes, sir. আমি বলছি যে এই সানডে যে অ্যাসাইনমেন্টটা সাবমিট করার, তো ওটাতে কি আমরা লিস্ট অফ কম্পোনেন্টসটা কি বাদ দিতে পারি?
ওটাতেও কি মানে স্পেস অ্যাকোমোডেট করা যাচ্ছে না? আমার তো মনে হয় ওই ড্রয়িংটা তো এমন কিছু বড় না, নাকি লিস্ট অফ কম্পোনেন্টের ইনফরমেশন নেই সেটার জন্য বলছো? মানে মেটেরিয়াল,
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা, মেটেরিয়ালের ইনফরমেশন নেই তো?
হ্যাঁ।
আর তাহলে যেটা করতে পারো সেটা হচ্ছে যে তোমাদের তো আমি বোধহয় ডিটেল ড্রয়িং করতে দিয়েছি, তাই না?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
তো ডিটেল ড্রয়িং এ ওই প্রত্যেকটা কম্পোনেন্টের পাশে নাম লিখে দিই, সেটা করলেই হবে।
ওকে স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
ওকে,
So therefore we
Any
can
other
skip
queries?
the list of components.
Sorry?
So therefore we can skip the list of components.
Yeah, you can skip the list of components possibly because you don't have the I mean mostly there are each component is possibly 1 or 2 at most. Okay, so what you can do is you can write next to the component. Okay, and if let's say there are stud and bolt or nut and stud and nut or nut and bolt, then you can simply mention there are two of them. Okay, and I believe you don't have the information with the material. Then you don't have to write the material. Okay, so you can simply write next to the component, this is the component and this is the number.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল
হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার, টপ ভিউ থেকে যখন আমরা দেখবো তো উপর থেকে নাট দেখতে পাবো আর তার মাঝে অনেকগুলো হিডেন লাইনও দেখতে পাবো, তো আপনি বলছেন যে স্মল কম্পোনেন্টে হিডেন লাইন দেখাতে হয় না, তো ওগুলো দেখাবো না?
না, স্মল কম্পোনেন্ট দেখাতে হয় না। এবার মানে কি কি দেখাতে হয় না বলছি। So let's say if you are drawing a section and in that section there comes a bolt. Okay, so if you are drawing an assembly view and let's say if you are drawing a section and there comes a bolt, then you don't take the section of the bolt. Okay, or a spindle. Okay, you don't do that. And when you are not drawing a section, then there would be a lot of hidden lines. Okay, and it would be really cumbersome if you try to draw in a complicated geometry, if you try to draw all of them. Okay, so you can skip the smaller components in that case. Also, whatever is hidden underneath the nut, you don't have to draw that. Okay, for example, if you are drawing an assembly view of the palmer block, okay, now obviously the diameter of the 3/4 circle of the nut matches exactly with the diameter of the stud or the square-headed bolt. Okay, but then the the cylindrical hole in the palmer block through which that square-headed bolt passes, okay, that has some clearance with the bolt, so essentially that has a different diameter. But then you do not draw the hidden line of that hole, being seen through the top view of the nut. You don't do that. মানে এটা কি বলতে চাইছি বুঝতে পারলে?
না স্যার, ক্লিয়ার হলো না।
হ্যাঁ, মানে ধরো আমি পামার ব্লকের নাটের টপ ভিউ আছি, হেক্সাগোনাল নাট, তার মধ্যে আমি যে সার্কেলটা ফুল আঁকবো সেটা হচ্ছে কোর ডায়ামিটার। মানে so if this much is 2d, this one has a diameter of d0 which is 0.85d. Okay, then I will be drawing a 3/4 circle, right, to show that this is a thread, and then there are center lines. Okay, now this 3/4 circle actually matches with the diameter of the bolt, right, because let's say this is the bolt with the metric thread. Okay, so this diameter, external diameter.
Are you sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing the screen, right? Okay, so this 3/4 circle. So this 3/4 circle is actually matching with this diameter. Okay, the core diameter is this one, d0. Okay, so that is this solid circle right there. Now this bolt here passes through a cylindrical hole on the cap and the body of the palmer block. Basically, the bottom part is called the block. Achha, how do I draw this block? There should be this small, even if I'm drawing a sectional view, there should be this small continuous line showing the continuity of, so if I'm taking a section, so that cylindrical surface becomes semi-cylindrical. Okay, so this is what I'm drawing actually. Okay, so that cylindrical surface you should be able to see, okay, because there is some clearance between the bolt and the cylindrical hole. So this much is the clearance. So you should be able to see this solid line right there. This edge, this circular edge, you would be seeing it as a straight line. Obviously, you don't draw the hidden line through the bolt, because bolt is a tiny component, so you don't draw the hidden line. Similarly, this cylindrical hole having a slightly higher diameter than the D, which is the let's say if it is M16 bolt, then that D is 16, okay, which would exactly match with this 3/4 circle. But then let's say this dimension of the cylindrical hole is 20, so leaving 2 millimeter gap in each side. But then you don't draw the 2 millimeter 20 millimeter diameter hidden circle on the top view of the nut in an assembly view. You don't have to do that, because again, nut is a tiny component. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, for the 516 stud, do we use M16 nut?
For the
516 stud,
yes,
the
it has to be
diameter
M16.
then
That's the very meaning of M16. That number essentially mentions the what is the the larger diameter.
Okay, sir.
স্যার
Yes.
স্যার পাইপ জয়েন্টসে স্যার কোনো মেটেরিয়াল স্যার শেয়ার করবেন একটু, মানে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে না আর কি।
কোনটা
ওই পাইপ জয়েন্টসের এই রোববার যে অ্যাসাইনমেন্টটা দিতে হবে, ওটার কোনো মেটেরিয়াল স্যার যদি শেয়ার করতেন তাহলে সুবিধা হতো আঁকতে।
মেটেরিয়াল শেয়ার করিনি আমি পাইপ জয়েন্ট
করা আছে তো, ড্রাইভে আছে তো পাইপ জয়েন্ট।
মানে ডিটেল ড্রয়িংটার মানে কোনগুলো আঁকবো একটু অসুবিধা হচ্ছে।
আমার ধারণা আমি মানে টেক্সট বুকে তোমাদের যেটুকু মেটেরিয়াল আছে সেটুকু আমি স্ক্যান করে কিন্তু শেয়ার করে রেখেছি।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, অ্যাসেম্বলিটা দেবো।
অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট বলে যে ফোল্ডারটা শেয়ার করা আছে না তোমাদের সঙ্গে, স্টপ ভালভ হয়ে গেল। আচ্ছা, অ্যাসাইনমেন্টস এর মধ্যে পাইপ জয়েন্টস এর মধ্যে এই ফোল্ডারটা দেখো তোমাদের সঙ্গে শেয়ার করা আছে। That has the PPT and source of every drawing in the PPT. And if you have the textbook, that is essentially all the information that you will have in the textbook as well. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So if you do not have any other query, then we can meet on next Thursday.
স্যার তাহলে হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলো।
বলছিলাম কি তাহলে এই টুল পোস্টের এখানে যে ছোট ছোট ডিটেইল পার্ট গুলো ছিল ওগুলো আর তাহলে আঁকবো না?
কোথায়?
এই টুল, এই যে শেপার মেশিনে আপনি যে পিডিএফটা বলেন না শেয়ার করবেন, ওখানে কত ছোট ছোট ওই যে ডিটেইল ড্রয়িং গুলো যেগুলো ছিল ওই পার্ট গুলো কি তাহলে
কম্পোনেন্ট আঁকবে না বলছি না, ছোট কম্পোনেন্ট আঁকবে না বলছি না, ছোট কম্পোনেন্টের সেকশন নেবে না।
আচ্ছা,
যদি সেকশন হতো, সেকশন তো দিও না।
আর না
আরেকটা কথা হচ্ছে যে ছোট কম্পোনেন্টের মধ্যে দিয়ে কোনো হিডেন লাইন দেখাবে।
ও আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ
ঠিক আছে, আঁকতে পারো।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। আচ্ছা থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Okay, so we'll meet on next Thursday.